Second night. Tough topic. Tough topic. And I fully expected all of the alleged allegations of contradiction. And he didn't let me down on that. We did the Bible first. I gave a meaningful presentation on how to handle synoptic parallels. I talked about telescoping. And Yusuf didn't even bother to try to engage any of that, really. He just, in his presentation, he absolutely, if they're not photocopies of one another, they're contradictory. You know, just a really surface level thing that, again, shows no interest whatsoever in actually hearing what we're saying, allowing for the authors to have different audiences and purposes, and none of that. It's just, and of course, from my perspective, he's destroying himself, because now we're going to have to look at the canonic parallels, and he's now given us his standard. Absolute verbal identity, or it's a contradiction. Well, or we're just going to admit that we're going to use different standards. Well, I get up and I give my discussion of the canonic parallels. And I go through the parallel texts, and it was this almost all, it wasn't identical. I actually brought in one series of parallels that I had not included in my book. But most of it was just from the book, from the chapter where I had talked about these things, and I raised the questions. All right, Yusuf has laid down the standard. If you have, I can't do this because I didn't save it to Dropbox, and I didn't transfer it to this unit. I was going to show you one of the examples. But if you have, in Surah 7, and I think it was Surah 29, off the top of my head, Allah, quoting Allah in the exact same context. What Allah said at this point in time. And it's different. Fundamentally different. Fundamentally different. Which one's right? And I even said, I recognize that it's not a matter of right and wrong. What I'm asking is, from your perspective of inspiration, understanding of the heavenly tablet, and that there is nothing of man in this, and that this is Jibreel. The Quran is sent down on Laylatul Qadr and given to Jibreel, and then it's dictated to Muhammad. Oh, and by the way, well, wait, hold on. All this stuff I present, and it was very fair. It was focused. I didn't wander all over the place. I didn't do any shotgunning. I gave multiple examples focused upon the same issue. Here was an opportunity for us to really learn about what each other believes about inspiration and about our texts. Here it is. And he gets out and he's got his 25 minutes. And I have never seen anyone sabotage a debate more purposefully than Yusuf Ismail did in my 150th debate. Never. Never. I mean, he dismissed everything I had said with a wave of my hand, saying it's irrelevant, pretty much the same words, doesn't matter. Then he faulted me for not dealing with the Quran's use of external sources. He has since said in email, well, you covered that in the chapter, but we never said that was the topic of the debate. I had raised all sorts of possibilities. Zainab bint Jash and what Qadr means in Islam versus the New Testament. I raised all sorts of issues. But to fault me for that, it was just, I'm sitting here going, and in fact, here's the page. Starts right here. I really wish I had transferred this. He totally missed the whole point of my Jairus discussion. I'm not gonna put it up there. It's too small to see. But he totally missed the purpose of my Jairus discussion. The discussion of the raising of Jairus' daughter. And even seemingly doesn't even understand the text. Because he said that in one, the young lady had died, and in the other, she didn't, and so the whole purpose of Jesus' healing was different. I mean, he hadn't even listened. I mean, it's very painfully obvious that unlike me, who examined, when I put those sections, Yusuf, because you said you're going to watch, when I put those sections in my book, did you notice that I commented on the Arabic? I wasn't getting that from somebody else. This wasn't drawn from some website someplace. I checked it out myself in the original languages. And you know you've never done that with Matthew and Mark and Jairus' daughter. You know you haven't. You know it. Oh, cool. Note bene, Brian Matheson just tweeted me that the Gagnon-Kirk debate is on Vimeo. Vimeo.com. I'm not going to...
Yeah, Dr. Gagnon just posted that about probably about 10 minutes ago by now, but I didn't want to
Good.
Get you off the rails, so.
Good. Excellent. We were talking about it. I have now retweeted it, and you'll get to see what I saw. It's up. It's good. Anyway, so here in my notes, I have part 2, parentheses, meltdown, parentheses close. That's at the top of the page, says meltdown. What Yusuf did, I don't know if he was just concerned that maybe I was making some inroads, maybe he had gotten some criticism. But since a bunch of this stuff was in his slides, this was a purposeful, planned attack. One of the things, he's waving my book around. Okay? He's waving my book around. Well, that's interesting. I don't know where my copy in here went, but it has seemingly disappeared on me here.